no cap, slay, whatever. I don't know. I'm a millennial, so I'm just going to be cringe no matter what I try and say, but... Hello everyone, you're very welcome back to another video. My name is Amy, I'm a musician, I play guitar and I sing and I make videos that consist mostly of cover songs, guitar content, vlogs, and I also just really enjoy talking about music related things and or Irish things depending on the video. It's been a little while since I've posted a vlog of any kind, but certainly a long form vlog, and this by the looks of it is going to be a long one, so I hope you're here for it and I hope you don't mind. I am not long back from my last trip home to Ireland as I'm filming this, and in fact I never got around to making a video from my previous trip, also from February 2025, which is a year ago now. 2025 was a very music heavy year for me. When I got back from my last trip, I got stuck in working on a bunch of cover songs that my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters had voted on. The list is still backed up, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm slowly getting through it. Just bear with me. It is just me over here.
Well, they're just gonna have to wait, aren't they? I only got 2 hands.
Not only that, but I also wrote the majority of my EP last year too. More on that really soon. So with all of the music focus, not complaining, I wasn't really in a vlog editing phase. I kept just putting off making that last video, and then the next thing I know, I'm getting ready to go home again. My next trip is coming up. So I decided in the end to just hold off and instead combine both trips and both sets of footage into just one big video and do one big bazooka vlog. The last time I did a video like this, I kind of combined the on-the-go filming while I was there and then sitting down and filming the narration part afterwards, and kind of weaving it all together, making it into a bit of a story. I really liked that format, so I'm gonna do it again here for this video. Just in case this is your first time watching me, welcome. I am from a place called County Mayo in the west of Ireland. I was born there, I grew up there, I lived my whole life there until 1 month before my 28th birthday, I packed up and moved across the world to marry the love of my life, and I now live in Los Angeles with my husband and my beagle, and that's my story. Besides playing music, my other favorite thing to do on this channel is show you where I'm from, because I am from the most beautiful part of the world. Okay, I might be a bit biased, but I love to show it off. I am lucky enough that I get to travel back home quite frequently to see my family, and when I'm in Ireland, I always end up going to interesting places and exploring, whether it's somewhere I've been a million times or somewhere brand new. I'd be doing this anyway, honestly, even if I didn't have a YouTube channel, because I do just like going places. So I may as well film it for you and get to show it to you as well, and that way I also get to work on another passion of mine, which is my love for making videos. So keep watching if you'd like to travel back home with me twice, explore a little bit more of the west of Ireland, and even venture out a little further to a place that I finally ticked off my bucket list, and also a little hop and a skip over to Alicante, Spain, because why not? And if you wouldn't mind, before we get into it, it would help me out immensely if you could just hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I know people don't really subscribe to channels much anymore, but I would really love to have you, and I would really appreciate the support. Also, this kind of new thing that I keep forgetting to remind people to do, this is just for smaller creators, which is me. Hype this video. Nobody remembers to do that because it's not in our vocabulary yet. Everyone's like and subscribe and share and comment, but nobody's like hype points. So if you could hype this video, that would be amazing. It helps smaller creators use their smaller audiences, just helps to boost the smaller videos in the algorithm. That would be amazing, so thank you so much. Okay, it's time to rewind to 1 year ago. Come along with me to Ireland. Time to go home again. Doesn't feel real. We're in the blue part. There we go. So my usual route is I fly from LAX direct to Dublin, which typically takes around 10 and a half hours. I'm so used to doing it at this point. I've been taking this route for the last 7 years. So a 10-hour flight doesn't really feel that long to me anymore. It just feels like a normal flight time. 10 hours probably seems really long to some. Some might say that's too long. Why don't you do a stopover and break up the journey? I've done that in the past, and I have to say I do just prefer the direct flight. There's something to be said about getting on and getting off, and you don't have any issues with baggage or having to stop to have a faff around in Chicago or New York, and I find that that actually makes the journey feel longer and makes Ireland feel further away. And then I get the bus service that goes from Dublin Airport straight to my hometown. That service just started running in the last couple of years, and it is a lifesaver. It takes about 3 hours, and honestly, that 3-hour bus journey can feel longer than the 10-hour flight, because by this point I am so ready to be home and so ready to be done with traveling. Who knows, maybe one day there'll be a direct route from Shannon to LAX. That would be fantastic. Knock Airport, that might be a tall order, but who knows, you never know. You know what, feck it, I'm gonna dream big. Knock to LA, I'm manifesting it. So I've skipped over a night's sleep and a whole Irish day, and the sun sets as the bus leaves Dublin City. And while feeling weary, a phrase echoes in my mind, a phrase that many fellow Mayo folk often repeat: the best thing about Dublin is the road out of it. I finally arrive home to the welcoming committee, and we even get paid a visit by a neighbouring cat, Billy, who sometimes drops by to see the girls, Poppy and Peep. I have arrived. I've made it to Ireland. It felt so quick. That's what I haven't been able to wrap my mind around the last couple of times I've come, is like how quick it feels. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I've done this trip a few times now. Like, I don't feel like I flew halfway across the world. Is it even halfway across the world? Maybe not. Quarter way across the world. I think the flight was about 9.5 hours, which sounds long if you don't do long flights, but actually normally that flight can be up to 11 hours, 10.5 hours. So when the pilot said 9.5 hours, I was like, oh, that's really quick. It's just really weird because like usually I feel quite far away, but then when I do the flight, I'm like, oh, it's not that far away, but it is that far away. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Anyways, I'm tired, but I'm here. That's the main thing. Made it in one piece. So happy to be here. I can't wait to just spend time, be here, catch up with people, spend time with family, and hopefully do some more filming. Hopefully. We'll see. The weather is not very good, is what I'm looking at. It's not very good, but I will be having some nice weather in a few days, because I'm going to be here for a few days, but we are going to Spain really quick for like 3 nights, but 2 full days in Spain. So I'll take some footage of that. But yeah, we're going to Spain. We just decided, let's do something wild. Let's do something different. And that's one thing I miss about, I mean, it's kind of different in the States because there's so much different climates, but living in Ireland, I think I took for granted just being able to hop over to Spain, France, Italy. So that's going to be really fun. I'm very excited to go to Spain. So I don't know what I will get time to film between now and then, but I'm going to be enjoying the weekend here. And then on Monday, we go to Spain. Right. I'm going to get some sleep. I hope you are enjoying the video so far. And at this point, I don't know what I'm going to film next. So whatever comes next, here we go. After a couple of days of adjusting and catching up, I'm on the move again. To celebrate my sister's birthday, we planned a little girls' trip to Alicante, Spain. So me, my sister and my mum set off to Shannon Airport, and after a quick 3-hour flight, we were in the sunny southeast of Spain. is a country that I've not spent much time in, having only been on a school trip to Barcelona when I was 16, and then a trip to Lanzarote, which was, gosh, 10 years ago now, which, you know, technically counts as Spain. So I was excited to be there again as an adult and just have a brand new experience. Alicante is a lovely city, known for its vibrant and historic old town, its paella dishes, and the famous Castillo de Santa Barbara, or Santa Barbara Castle. I enjoyed the connection to California, naturally. You'll have to forgive my Spanish accent as well, in that I don't have one. Look, I did French in school, okay, and Irish. Spanish wasn't a thing when I was Spanish was a thing, the language, but it wasn't on, It wasn't an option for us to pick. It was either French or German, so I picked French. So apologies for my lack of Spanish accent. Bonjour. Castillo de Santa Barbara. Castillo de Santa Barbara. Alicante is not unlike Los Angeles, I realised, with its sunny weather, palm tree-lined promenades, and people speaking Spanish. Now I need to take a second to talk about something very serious, very important to me, and that is the pizza that I had on the first night. This is very important to me. We wandered around the area looking for dinner, and the general theory in our family is if we're in a new place and we don't know where we are and we're looking for food, our theory is when in doubt, go for a nice looking Italian place. It's usually a good choice and you typically can't go wrong. Italian food in Spain, I know. We had no regrets, let me tell you. I know you don't understand, I need to make you understand, I still think about this pizza. A year later, I fantasize about it. Like a long lost love that you had one passionate night with and then you never saw each other again. And every now and then you find yourself thinking, I wonder what he's doing right now. Just kidding, I married him. No, seriously though, the pizza was unbelievable. It was so good. It was a tricolor pizza, tricolore, with cherry tomatoes and olive oil and fresh garlic and basil on the left side, cheese with Parmesan shavings in the middle, and arugula and pesto on the right side. When they plopped it down in front of me, I did not think I would eat the whole thing. Geez, I won't eat all that. No, I ate the whole thing. I devoured it. And what was so interesting was even though I had just eaten an entire pizza, I didn't feel too full, I didn't feel sick, zero bloating, which is not normal for me after pizza. So you just know that it was made with quality Mediterranean ingredients. Drop a like on this video if you've now decided that you're having pizza tonight. We spent the couple of days exploring Alicante, walking the quintessential Spanish streets, shopping, and even climbing up to the Santa Barbara Castle and exploring that too. The castle dates back to the 9th century and is named Santa Barbara because it was captured and taken over by Castilian forces in 1248 on the feast day of St. Barbara. It's been open to the public to visit since 1963, although the sign at the castle said 1961, so one of those is right. We spent a couple of hours roaming around the castle and the surrounding area since there was quite a lot to see. I think the highlight being the actual views from the top. You can see the entire bay and could easily spend a long time just staring out at the coastline. At one point I was filming and I walked towards a lookout point, my aim being to film the view of the city from the castle, but as I panned around I audibly gasped because I genuinely wasn't expecting to see what I saw in the moment. Oh my god. Don't ask me why I temporarily forgot that the ocean was behind me, but in the moment it just actually took my breath away. We just had a really lovely couple of days, gentle exploring, no agenda, lovely walks and more food, and it was a very relaxing trip. I think it really helped to mark the occasion for my sister's birthday, and the whole time we were there I couldn't get the Lady Gaga song out of my head. Don't call my name, don't call my name, Alicante. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Then we came back home. Poppy and Peep were very curious about where we'd been and had to do the obligatory luggage sniff inspection.
Excuse me, Peep, can you not do that, please?
Smelling all the Spanish cats, no doubt.
For you, baby, I could be.
I had set aside a day to do some filming. I'm always hopeful to film a cover song outside if I can. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love just the raw acoustic take. Usually it's in the countryside, so there's nobody around, so it's kind of easier to get in the zone. I just like capturing the nature sounds in the moment. There's usually birds or a gentle breeze and also just the scenery in the background, but can be hard to plan because it is just weather permitting. And there was one time I did get caught in the rain and I managed just in time to get everything back in the car before the heavens opened. I was stressed about it because I didn't want my mic and my guitar to get wet, of course. I do have a couple of outdoor covers on my channel. I'll link them below. If you haven't seen them yet, check them out after this. But my plans to film outside on this particular day didn't work out due to weather, so I filmed a bunch inside instead. I filmed a Q&A, which I will link down below also, and I had a little play and a reconnect with my guitars. Good morning, everyone. It's another day back in Ireland again. We are back from Spain. It's been a couple of days and I have marked today to film my Q&A that I did a post about a few days ago. I got a whole bunch of questions, so I'm kind of getting a little bit set up here, you can see. So I had fully planned to film this outside down in my grandparents' place, like where I usually film, where I filmed the last few trips, because of course the scenery is amazing and, you know, I just love being down there anyway. I love filming down there, it's perfect. But unfortunately the weather is not permitting, which is kind of just something we have to deal with. Although I feel like it's just stopped raining. It's been lashing rain so far all day today. Rain is forecast for the day. I hate that it's just now stopped, that I'm just about to start filming here, but I'm also like, I know it's going to start again. So that's that's annoying. But today is my only day to film this, just with everybody's schedule and with the things we've got going on, the things we've got planned. So today is my day to film this Q&A while I'm still here. So I'm going to do it here. I did my live stream here a few nights ago and it actually turned out really nice. So I thought, okay, if all else fails, I can just film in here and do a cute little set. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to sit down and film this, and I'm hoping it goes well. I think it will. I got a whole bunch of nice questions. I've had to write them out on little post-it notes, little sticky notes, because I thought I was going to be filming out in the field, which I wouldn't be able to read the questions because I wouldn't have my laptop and I'd be filming on my phone. So I was like, I have no way to read the questions. Anyways, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to get to filming this video and fingers crossed. The Q&A is done. I just finished filming. I hope it's okay. I think it is. Again, I'm not in my usual setup, so I'm not sure if the light is okay. I tried my best. I wanted to make it a little bit like cozy and maybe even slightly dark, but also get enough light, you know, that it's not too grainy. So I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at the footage now and just see. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Talked about a lot of fun, interesting things. So hopefully that video will be enjoyed. The worst, not the worst, but the annoying part is that I think it's no longer raining. So I probably could have gone to film that outside. It's actually not raining now. Damn it. Oh well. What are you gonna do? It's done. It's done now. So, yeah. Hopefully I will get another chance to vlog outside, even if it's not in my Q&A video. I'm gonna go export all this footage and audio and chill out with my sister for a couple hours. So it's another day just hanging out, doing a few things here. I think I'm gonna pull out my guitars because I haven't had the chance to do that yet. So I might pull out my guitars, have a little play. I have this little amp here. Oh, you can't see it. There it is. I have this little amp that my dad wants me to try. So I'm gonna have a play around with that. I'm thinking about getting something like that. It's a little air amp. It's got like 2 channels, so it can take a mic and a guitar. So I'm thinking about getting something like that anyway, so I'm going to try this one and see if I like it. And also just get reacquainted with my guitars that I have here that I miss a lot. Yeah, I'm hoping one day I can find a way to bring them back with me. It's just, it's really tricky. I don't know. Flying with instruments is like such a pain. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, especially like guitar size instruments and bigger. I don't think airlines make it really easy, so I don't really know. It's one of those things where I've kind of tried to organize possibly in the last few trips, and then I just find myself, I get too overwhelmed with it, and I'll just procrastinate with it, and I'm like, oh no, I'll leave it till next time. So I'm still like, yeah, no, I can't. It's too stressful for me, so they're just here at the moment. But I miss my Les Paul and my Red Strat, so I'd love to, at some point, to be able to get them back to LA. I know people say to book another seat for the instrument. I think that's the way that people do it, the safest way. I would never check any of my instruments. That's what I see other people do, is book another seat for the instrument, and that gets pretty pricey. Anyways, so I'm gonna play around with the guitars for a bit, and I might head out for a little walk, maybe, and take you with me. So yeah, let's pull out these guitars. We're on the floor. My pride and joy, my Les Paul, my Epiphone Les Paul. I think I've showed this in the video before. This was my main gigging guitar for like 8 years. Even the smell of it, like I opened the case, oh my god, that like literally brings me back to when I first got this and was learning all those Bryan Adams tunes. It's so crazy. Okay, let's have a play. I don't want to mess around with the settings too much. And we have a mic. 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. I have missed playing this guitar quite a lot. I like it, it's nice. Only thing is I don't have a mic stand. I wish I had a mic stand. I'm trying to improvise. Backpack. No. Oh. Ew. Ew. I like doing live with you. This isn't a very good mic stand. Right, let's try another guitar. This is my beautiful limited edition 57 reissue that I got for my 21st birthday. It really needs some TLC. It's so dusty, dirty. I actually forgot there's a string broken. Completely forgot about that. I don't remember when that happened. It's filthy. Strings are filthy. Fretboard's filthy. You need some TLC. You need to go to the spa. Needs a guitar facial. Missing the high E string. Yeah, you need some love, my dear. I want to bring you back with me. Looks so good next to Daphne. One day they will be together. Hopefully soon. And I also have a Telecaster, which I don't think I've ever showed. The pickguard is gross. This was like a silvery color. And yeah, that needs changing. That is disgusting. Oh. See, this is when I feel guilty because I feel like I've not been looking after my babies properly. The input is loose too. Yeah, you are not in great shape. I love this guitar though. I really love the wood. I was particularly drawn to the wood. And I mean, it's a Squire, so it was inexpensive, but I don't know. I saw it and I wanted it, so I got it. That's the signal that keeps dipping in and out. Yeah, the Les Paul's the only one that's in good nick. And that's because I've used it the last few times, the last couple times I've come home. And so I've cleaned it up and freshened it up and given it new strings and stuff. But yeah, these other two need some TLC. I like this little lamp thing too. Air, the Acoustic People 60 watt, I think. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's better. I think I like number 2. No, number 1. Oh my gosh, it's raining. Oh no, I was literally gonna go for a walk. It just started raining. Of course. Always. It's just gotten really dark all of a sudden, so that's why everything just changed. Getting these guitars back up and running again. It's just one of those things where like I need a certain brain capacity to do it. I mean, I don't think I played that guitar, the Telly at least. I don't think I've played that in like 6 or 7 years. Needs a new pickguard. New strings, obviously. The input mechanism needs to be fixed. And same with the Strat, honestly. The Strat was not getting good signal, so I need to like sort that out. I might see if this rain storm will pass and hopefully head out for a walk in a little bit. We'll see. Looking back through this footage, I forgot how much it rained on this trip. I ended up not filming as much as I would have liked to because the weather was just particularly bad. But on my last day, we did manage to get out to a spot that I have been to countless times, not only in vlogs, but in real life too. I've been going there my whole life, my whole childhood, really. You may recognize it as Enniscrone Beach, a place very near and dear to my heart. It's so windy, oh my god. But this is my last afternoon. We just had a really nice lunch at the Pilot Bar, so just popped out for a beach walk. I hope this audio is okay. It's so unbelievably windy. I don't know how this vlog's gonna turn out this time, but what are you gonna do? Just gonna enjoy the rest of this walk. It's absolutely stunning, as you can see, on Enniscrone Beach in County Sligo. I feel like I'm doing a weather report with my microphone. Just enjoying the last little bit, and I'll be heading back, packing up and enjoying the last night, and then back to LA. I will miss this, but I will be back soon. We also managed a lunch at the Pilot Bar. I have a lovely memory of taking Ashton there on one of his trips when we were dating, and one of my favourite pictures I have of him, I snapped a moment of him fully experiencing Irish life, which is a pint of Guinness by an open fire, and bonus, they have a bottle of Jaeger instead of a lampshade. Brilliant. I've been to Enniscrone in multiple vlogs over the last few years, but I've never actually talked about the old Cliff Baths, a curious little castle built by the Orme family in 1850, a rich family that were huge landowners at the time across Mayo and Sligo. This actually used to be a spa and was built literally right by the sea so that it could use the benefits of the fresh seawater. It was originally built for the Orme family's private use, but it was eventually opened for public use. It still stands today, unused, at the rocky end of the beach. It was also badly damaged in a hurricane not too long after it was built. When the tide is out, you can see a circular tidal pool that was carved out of the rock. This was to ensure that the Cliff Baths had an endless supply of fresh seawater. Locals later nicknamed the pool the Baby Rock because mothers used to bring their infants and bathe them in the fresh seawater during the warm summer spells. It's a beautiful building and of course very eye-catching. It somehow both sticks out and blends into the seaside landscape. It's really unfortunate that whoever owns it now has allowed it to fall into disrepair. Imagine if they did it up and made it usable again to preserve some local history. Right now it looks like a zombie could come crawling out of there. Creepy. From my reading, I have found a couple of online sources that say there is talks of a possible refurbishment plan and that the Cliff Bath House has actually received funding for restoration from the Rural Regeneration and Development Fund, so hopefully it gets restored at some point in the near future. So I enjoyed one last beach walk on this last day, and then it was time to head back to LA. The goodbyes are never easy, but it's okay this time because it's already time to go back again. Yay! So now I need to fast forward. Let's go back to Ireland again. Woohoo! So now we're in the end of 2025, just coming out of the calmest and snuggliest Christmas. I had to go and ruin it and leave. Odie was not happy with me and would barely look at me as I left, which certainly doesn't make it any easier to leave. Thanks, bud. But off I went, retracing my steps as I usually do, and lo and behold, I'm back again. We rang in 2026 with a kind of Christmas Eve Part 2, Mario Kart, and of course the grand finale of Stranger Things, Priorities. I'm here. I made it. I made it. I'm in Ireland. The trip was fine, uneventful, honestly, which is good. Honestly, I thought the bus from the airport felt longer than the LA flight. I don't know why. I think probably just because I was ready to be done, you know, after the long flight. I'm kind of used to doing that flight now, weirdly, and also maybe you have a bit more freedom on the flight. You get fed on the flight, whereas the bus is just, you're sitting on a bus for like 3 hours. But yeah, I was fine. I was doing okay until we got about halfway. Got to Athlone and I was like, get me off this bus. I just want to be there. I kind of had to pee. I was hungry. And anyways, I'm here now. I made it. I'm so excited. I'm excited to just have New Year's Eve and just hang out and catch up with everybody. And I think it's gonna snow. I'm looking at the weather forecast. I think it's gonna snow in a few days, which I don't know, that might change, but I'm really excited. If it snows, I'm gonna be so happy. I know like the snow is not always the most practical thing. So there's that too. I always feel bad for being happy about snow because it just makes the roads more dangerous. So there's also that side of it too, but there's a big part of me, like the child in me, and I haven't seen snow in ages. I would love if it snowed a little bit just so I could cross that off the list. And yes, anyway, we'll see. But I'm gonna enjoy my evening and I'll check in a bit.
Hello, is that you? Was that you? Was that you screaming? Was that you screaming? Thank you. Thank you for the wake-up call. Thank you for the wake-up call.
So I've been here for a couple of days. It's just been so nice. It's been quite busy. I'm kind of running around a lot. Rang in the new year. It's 2026 now, which is crazy. 2026. By the time you see this, we will be well into 2026. But myself and my sister are going to Bray tomorrow. So I'm kind of getting a little bag packed here because we're just gonna pop up the other side of the country. We're just going to drive up to Bray for one night and we have some stuff planned. We're going to do a little filming and go to a few different places. My sister's going to a party, which I'm going to crash. So it's going to be fun and I'm really excited because we are up in the direction of Glendalough. I said that weird. Glendalough, which is in Wicklow National Park, and I've actually never been there. I always think to myself I've never been to Wicklow. I actually have been to Wicklow because I've been to Bray a couple of times, but Bray is the only part of Wicklow that I've been to. Not that it doesn't count, but I suppose I've just never really explored much of Wicklow, so it's kind of one of those places I feel like I've never been. So I'm very excited to actually go, and we're going to take a little detour on the way back to Mayo. We're going to just pop down to Glendalough and have an hour there because I've always wanted to go to Glendalough and I've never been, and I honestly feel like it's a bit of a bucket list thing to tick off. So that's doing pretty good. We're pretty fresh and new into the new year at this point, and I'm already ticking off something on my bucket list. So that feels pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna go to Glendalough on the way home and I'm so excited. I always see pictures of it and I'm like, I've not been there before. So I can't wait to go to Glendalough, and of course I'm going to show it to you as well. I'm going to bring you along with me. So we're going to drive to Bray tomorrow and we're going to have the night there, and we're staying in Oscar Wilde's former residence, which is kind of a bit mad and random, but it's going to be interesting. Yeah, we're going to have the night and then we're going to get up tomorrow, the next day, and we're going to have a little look around Bray, and then we're going to drive to Glendalough and then we're going to drive back home. And then I think we should be getting back in time before the snow comes. That is very important. If the snow comes, then we're probably not going to go. So yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm going to take you along to Bray and I hope you enjoy Glendalough. My sister and I took a little road trip during this visit. We went away for one night up to Bray in County Wicklow. Bray is a lovely coastal town about half an hour south of Dublin City. We got there just before it got dark and the moon was bright and stunning in the sky over the sea and the stony beach. My sister booked us a place to stay called the Strand Hotel right on, you guessed it, the Strand, right on the seafront. What's extra cool about this hotel is that it's actually the former residence of the famous Irish poet, author and playwright Oscar Wilde. The house, known as Elsinore, was built by his parents in 1863. He then inherited the property when his father died in 1876, and he lived there for 2 years before selling it in 1878. The Strand Hotel now very much leans into the Oscar Wilde branding, with each room being named after his works. The Picture of Dorian Gray, The Young King, Impressions of America, The Selfish Giant, The Duchess of Padua, which was the room we stayed in, obviously, and An Ideal Husband. It was a really nice place to stay and all the staff were really lovely. Location was beautiful because you're right on the promenade, right across from the sea and close to public transport. My only criticism, and I hate even saying this because it has nothing to do with the running of the hotel, and I'm not trying to publicly bash a business. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. Some people won't even care about this, and I think they should. Because they're really leaning into the Oscar Wilde branding and marketing it as that. Celebrating one of Ireland's most famous writers, it was really disappointing to see artwork all around the hotel, pictures of Oscar Wilde and his quotes and stuff, all AI generated. Once I spotted it, I could not see it, and it was just really disappointing, especially since me and my sister are both the creative types and we both kind of feel strongly about this. It's just such an unbelievable contradiction. I don't know why more people haven't realized this. To celebrate Oscar Wilde using generated AI artwork to decorate the place in order to celebrate such a great talent that came out of Ireland. To showcase that using AI is just I can't speak for a man who's no longer with us, but I would put money on the fact that Oscar Wilde would be turning in his grave if he knew. Some of the pictures weren't even good. That's even more frustrating. They just had that AI slop look. There were pictures of Oscar Wilde with one of his quotes, and there'd just be obvious mistakes in the text. It wasn't even done properly. They all had that weird slop AI filter. I kind of wish I took more videos just so I could show you what I'm talking about, but honestly, we've all seen crappy AI at this point. I don't think we need to see more of it. You can imagine what it probably looks like, and to be honest, I don't really want to show that shit on my channel. Some people just genuinely don't care about this. And like I said, it has nothing to do with the hotel themselves. I just wish this detail wasn't there, because other than that, it was lovely. It does baffle me sometimes that some people just don't care about this. The general argument is oh, well, AI is here now, we have to accept it as part of our lives. And okay, I do kind of agree with that. I mean, I'm not completely anti-AI. I do think it can have some use if it's being used as a tool. However, I take issue with it when it completely is replacing a creative process, when there could be actual artwork of Oscar Wilde on the walls to celebrate him. It's just the fact that it's completely replacing actual real artwork of Oscar Wilde. That's my issue. It was just disappointing. I was just disappointed, and me and my sister, while we were there, we were just having, we were catching up and having these chats, and AI was coming up a lot because we're both, we both are creative. I play music and my sister's an artist, and we were talking about the frustrations of AI and how some people, especially in her work where she sees people are generating AI art and then selling it, and then it's just really frustrating to watch. And then we noticed the stuff on the walls and we were like, oh, this is what we're up against now in 2026, and it kind of sucks and it's terrifying. My personal observation on opinions on AI is they are typically allowing us to distinguish between the talented and the talentless, and that's just my opinion. I'm not apologizing for it, it's how I feel. Next time someone gives you their opinion on generative AI replacing the creative process, just mentally take note on whether or not they are a talented individual. In my experience, people who are creative and have spent their lives dedicated to a craft and learning how to do something, this subject is terrifying because it's erasing the entire journey, it's erasing the entire process without our consent as artists as well. Art is literally being stolen. AI is literally learning through art that's already been made without the consent of the person who made it. Just quietly, what I've observed is people who don't possess any talent, no shade, are like excited by this. Cool, I can make a song, I can make a movie, I can make whatever without having to do anything. I can write music without having to learn how to sing or play the drums or learn guitar. I don't have to do any of that. I bypass the essential growth learning part of it and I just get the shitty finished product. And I just... yeah. Anyway, I'll move on. That's not the point of this video, so I'll move on. These were just the kind of chats we were having on this trip, but that aside, we did have a really lovely time. We also went to my sister's friend's birthday party, and I know she watches my videos, so hi Claire! We got up the next morning, had breakfast, checked out, and took a stroll along the sea's edge before we headed to our next destination. Nothing like some fresh air in the lungs, real life, sisterly chats, and a vast view of the Irish Sea. Our next stop before we headed back to Mayo is a place that I was so excited about, and even to get to this point in the video, I'm just so excited to talk about this. A place that over the years has made its way to my bucket list. It's kind of embarrassing that I just never got there, but I just never did. It's kind of just the same old thing. The things that are kind of on your doorstep, you never get to. And that is the Round Tower at Glendalough. I have always wanted to go there and see it for myself. And since we were in Bray anyway, no better time to take a little detour and go see it finally. So we drive another 30 minutes further down into Wicklow, deeper into the county, past the Sugarloaf Mountains. Wicklow is known as the Garden of Ireland, and you can really see why. As we approach Glendalough, you can see the Round Tower standing in all its glory. Nestled in the glacial valley, the Round Tower stands at 100 feet high. Glendalough comes from the Irish Glendalough, which means Valley of the Two Lakes. The Round Tower is just a part of the remains of the monastic city that lies in the glacial valley of Glendalough National Park. St. Kevin, who founded the monastery back in the 6th century, even though there is little known about him as the stories written about him were written hundreds of years after his passing, you can see why he was drawn to the area, drawn to its peace and serenity to live his life in solitude and devotion. The serenity of this place is still strong even today. I think you can just tell by watching this video, but the sense of peace transcends even what the camera can show you. It was so quiet there. There were people out walking and mooching around just like us, and even still, it was just so... big sigh. It was just so peaceful and there was such a stillness there. It is not known exactly when the Round Tower was built. They say it was probably sometime between the year 900 and 1200. Round towers were used as bell towers to call the monks to prayer, to store valuable manuscripts, and also as a safe place to hide if any Vikings came along. You cannot go inside the Round Tower, only look at it from the outside, but inside there are 6 floors that are made out of wood, and the door to enter was built about 12 foot off the ground and was presumably accessed by a ladder that was pulled up from the inside. That way an enemy couldn't follow them inside the tower. There's also a little hole just above the ground level, and the use of this is unknown. It felt a bit surreal to be there. I was quite proud of myself because we're only a couple of days into the new year at this point, and I had already ticked something off the bucket list, so I was quite proud of myself. I can finally say that I've been to Glendalough and I will remember what the stone of the round tower felt like. We also enjoyed walking around exploring the rest of the remains of the city, the church, the priest's house, and trying to find the oldest grave we could. We wanted to remain respectful, of course, since it's still being used as a graveyard in the present day, so not to go around filming the graves of people who have recently deceased, but just out of mild curiosity to see how far back these dates go. A lot of graves from the mid to late 1800s, a lot of people that died in their 30s and 40s and younger, which would have been life expectancy back then when Ireland was experiencing the famine. Pausing briefly to try and imagine what life must have been like for people back then, and what would they think of the world now in the new year of 2026. We did find a grave that I think was the oldest one I could find. I'm not sure if it was actually the oldest one in the whole graveyard, but it says, "Here lieth the body of Francis Keogh, departed July 28th, 1789, aged 102. I mean, not many people today live to be 102, so to live to be 102 back then is quite extraordinary. That means we are looking at the grave of someone who was born in 1687. I think this is one of my favourite things about exploring in Ireland, is you can literally see pieces of the past right in front of you. Also, is anybody else a little bit fascinated with graveyards? I don't know if that's weird to say, it probably is. Maybe I think about things a little bit too deeply, but there's something I find intriguing about seeing the dates stretch back that far. I feel a mixture of sadness that these people have been here, lived a life and gone, cut short in many cases, and also maybe a slight rush at the fact that I'm here now, alive and breathing, and what a wonderful thing that is, and also kind of terrifying. The sun will keep on rising and setting whether or not I'm worried about things, caught up in my own fears and anxieties, and one day, this day, will be in the past. It already is. Make the most of the time we have, treasure the people closest to us and love them as hard as we can, and let all the bullshit that surrounds us melt away. Wow, St. Kevin got something right. This place has me feeling all existential. So with Glendalough officially checked off the bucket list, we headed on the road back home and got there just in time for the arrival of the snow day. It was nighttime when a few gentle white specks started falling from the sky, and then it got heavier and started sticking to the ground. Now, this doesn't happen that regularly in Ireland. I mean, do get snow, of course, but it rarely comes at Christmas time, and if it does, it tends to just mix with the rain. We've gotten considerable amounts of snow before, where it does last for days, and the whole country shuts down. But it seems to be less common in the last few years, and it never coincides with my visits. At least compared to other parts of the world, like the east coast of the US got an absolute battering a couple of weeks ago. I had also mentioned in a recent video that I hadn't seen snow in a really long time, and the weather did forecast some snow, but I was not expecting what was about to happen the next day. I was already excited going to bed because standing at the back door watching the snow begin to fall was exciting enough for me, and when we woke up the next morning to the most magical sight, as I pulled up the blinds, I felt like a kid again, waking up on Christmas morning to quite literally a winter wonderland. There isn't a better way to describe it. Thankfully, we decided to bundle up and go out for a walk because had we not, we would have missed it. The blanket of snow covered most of the west of Ireland for just that day and was gone the next, as if it was just passing through. This snow day in my mind is one of my new favourite days, and I'm so glad it exists in my memory now, while also being sad that it's in my memory now. It's one of those days that you want every day, but through the magic of editing and video making, I get to relive it over and over and over again. There was something about this snow day that just brought me back to childhood, and in a wave of nostalgia, I found myself looking back through some old toys and our old box of Game Boy stuff. I am having an absolute blast from the past. This is wild. These are Sylvanian families. Who remembers these? And I believe they still make them, which is crazy. And I also found Game Boy stuff. So, okay, we'll let that motorbike pass, but I want to just have a quick look at these because I literally remember... I don't think this is a Sylvanian because this is bigger. This might be from something else, but we included it in the Sylvanians because they're very similar, just a slightly bigger bear. Kind of like in Animal Crossing New Horizons, the bears are slightly bigger than everyone else. Oh my gosh, look at this. Rabbit. I remember having a rabbit family. Baby rabbit. Oh, stop it. That is so cute. Look at that baby rabbit. Oh my god. I remember the Dalmatian. I feel like my sister got these. Look how loved. I know these look quite wear and tear, but these were so loved and so played with. It's like unbelievable. So we have the Dalmatian, and I think we have the Dalmatian kids as well. That's the little boy. Oh my god, look at his little dungarees. They're so cute. And this must be the little girl. I remember this dress. Oh my gosh. Adorable. And then we have mice, and I think the cats... I think this might have been my first ever Sylvanian families. I feel like I got this little set first, the little family set that started the love of Sylvanians. I think we gradually got some houses and stuff. The mama cat, I think. Looks like it. And this is the daddy cat. He's got no clothes, wherever they are. And then I think this must be the little girl cat. Oh my god, stop it, they're too cute. I loved them so much. I remember like feeling their whiskers. Like I'm having an actual, like obviously the visual memory, but I'm also having like sensory memory as well. Just like feeling how they feel and feeling their whiskers and how, oh gosh, this takes me back so much. And then this is the little boy cat with his little dungarees. These are very worn. This strap is ripped. Yeah, if I remember correctly, this was my first ever family that we ever got. And I think my sister then got the Dalmatians. So we literally had cat and dog family. These were so unbelievably loved and played with a lot, as you can tell. This is a little baby. That's like a baby cat, actually. Looks like a baby cat. I feel like this rattled thing, I don't even remember this actually. I don't know if I remember this cat. Maybe my sister had this one. And then we had a mouse as well. I remember this dress. Oh my gosh. Mouse. And then we have a baby mouse as well. I don't know why. I might be misremembering this, but I feel like these two came together. Single parent Sylvanian family. I don't remember there being extra mice. I think it was just the mum and the baby mouse together, which is really cute. And then a couple of... I don't think this is Sylvanian. This doesn't quite fit the aesthetic, does it? That probably came from somewhere else, but we ended up using it as a fridge. This is definitely Sylvanian, this chair. I mean, that is classic Sylvanian furniture. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. This rocking chair, this was from a different dollhouse, I think, because this is not Sylvanian, but it fits Sylvanians. So yeah, that makes sense. I remember playing with that. And then this bed is broken, obviously, but this is most definitely a Sylvanian bed. My gosh, I just remember so clearly playing with these and absolutely loving them. And now fast forward a little bit later, we have Game Boy stuff. I feel like this box was like a makeup box, like a gift of makeup or something came in it, and we decided to use this as the box to keep all the Game Boy games. So this is the first Nintendo DS. That is wild. It's so chunky. My sister got this. So this is my sister's. And then my brother got the DS Lite. Oh, the pens are still there too. Oh my gosh. So, and then this, I spotted this. So this went over the Game Boy Advance, which I don't know where that is, but I remembered this. This was an accessory that you could buy because the Game Boy Advance didn't have a built-in light in the screen. So you would have to clip this on over the Game Boy Advance and then turn on the light here so that you could actually see the screen, which is crazy to think about that. We had a Game Boy Advance, we had a Game Boy SP, and then we had two DSs, which we kind of shared. What games are in here is what I want to know. This is Super Mario, New Super Mario Brothers. Remember that game? I loved that game. We had a lot of fun on the multiplayer on that one. And then what is in here? Stuart Little 2. Oh my god. Flippin' loved this game. That was such a fun game. I can play some of these through on my gaming channel, get some memories. Okay, there's no Game Boy Advance game in there. And okay, the cartridges are empty here. Let's have a look at the games. What have we got? Oh my goodness. I think they're all Game Boy. Mostly Game Boy Advance. Oh, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I've literally just been playing this on my gaming channel as we speak. That is, oh, I loved this so much. And I do remember putting that sticker on the back. Look, I wrote my name. Oh my gosh, I wrote my name. Trying to get that to focus. Oh no, I didn't write it. It must be part of the sticker. That is so cute. The Sims 2. I don't remember playing this one as much. Don't remember playing The Sims 2. I don't know if this was one of my favorites. I preferred Sims on the computer, but obviously played it a little bit. Super Mario Advance. Look at the A. I put the A initial on it. This was the first game I ever got. This one. My sister got Wario Land 4 and I got Super Mario Advance. Also playing that on my gaming channel. I do need to finish the series. Same sticker again. So I was obviously labeling the games that were mine. Although we did just share, because these things had multiple save files usually, so we were able to share the games. Oh, this is a gem. This is a gem. This is on my list to play on Pokera. The Sims Bustin' Out. Oh my god. This is an unbelievable nostalgia game. It's flippin' amazing. I would turn these on, but I have a feeling that they're dead. Yeah, it's dead. I kind of figured. They haven't been turned on in so long. You can tell this is my sister's because she has animal stickers. Dog, cat, horse. What else have we got in here? Oh, we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Have played this through on my gaming channel as well. This was the original cartridge that I played on. This is so cool. We had a lot of games actually. Sonic Advance, I remember this as well. The Simpsons Road Rage, that was a fun game. It was kind of like a taxi game. You just drove around, picked people up and dropped them off, but it was a bit of fun. The Incredibles, oh my gosh. This is what, well, actually there are some DS games in here too, and a Game Boy Color, or maybe just Game Boy. No, Wario Land 2 was Game Boy Color, I'm pretty sure. So, but you could play them on here as well. You could stick them in. So yeah, Wario Land 2 I loved. Wario Land 2 and Wario Land 4 were favorites of mine. You know what? That actually might be our cousins. I have a feeling that's our cousins. Because I don't remember us actually buying that. Don't think we were buying games when the Game Boy Color was out. We have Spyro 2 Season of Flame. I loved this game as well. That was a really fun one. Pokemon Sapphire. Fantastic. This is my sister's because I had Pokemon Ruby and she had Sapphire, so we used to play together. This is like a double game, 2 games in one, Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo. I kind of remember playing both of these. The Finding Nemo game was fun, actually. What else have we got? Game Boy Color, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I kind of remember that one, vaguely. Vaguely remember that one. Don't know if I played this one as much. Yoshi's Island. This is a great game. You can play this on the Nintendo Switch Online now. Also, where is it? Super Mario Advance. These two you can play with Nintendo Switch Online now, which is pretty cool. Mario Kart Super Circuit, the very first Mario Kart game. Actually, this you can also play on Nintendo Switch Online as well. I loved this game a lot as well, although it was quite hard. And we have The Herbs. Oh my goodness. Also played through this on my gaming channel. One of the most fun series? One of the most fun series I've ever done. Oh, just incredible. So much fun. So much fun. This was a great game. Bustin' Out was the sequel. No, sorry. Bustin' Out was the prequel. Bustin' Out came first. And then The Herbs came after that. So What a time to be alive. Couple of DS games. This is not mine. MX versus ATV Untamed. I have no idea what that is. I'm pretty sure that's my brother's. I have never played this. Nintendogs. Oh my gosh, a classic. Classic Nintendogs. Fantastic. Purpals. Have a very vague memory of this. I don't know if it was any good. I feel like we only bought it because it was about cats. It may have been a game that was like singing cats. I feel like I have a memory of that that's coming back, but I can't remember if it's this game. So I don't know. I don't really remember that one a whole lot. Nintendogs, the other one. This one has the beagle. This is the beagle one. The green one is the golden retriever one. Or wait, what was on the cover of this one? Was it the Dalmatian or a Dachshund? I can't remember. But this is the game that the beagle. You can get a beagle in this game. So obviously would lean more towards that one. Metroid Prime Hunters. Never played it. Definitely my brother's. And the Simpsons game. Don't know if I played this one too much either. But yeah. And then we have some weird touchscreen thingy that looks questionable. I think this was a thing you could use as a touchscreen. It looks quite questionable. Looks a little bit too much like a nipple. And then just some random batteries. But here is a little taste of childhood, which is so sweet to look back at these things. So yeah, lovely memories. Lovely, lovely memories. You can tell she really wants to.
That's it. That's it. Too tired. A
few more days pass and I am approaching the end of my last week for this time, and we took a trip over to Kylemore Abbey. Nestled in the Connemara Mountains in Galway, Kylemore Abbey has a long and fascinating history with interesting people, and that includes the current times, by the way. If you're ever in the area, I would highly recommend visiting and paying for a ticket to go inside because there's a lot to do in there. I had been to Kylemore a long time ago on a school trip and I have very little memory of it. I don't really remember the inside, my memory is only of the outside. This particular day was supposed to be a sunny day too, but it did end up raining. What's new? It was originally built as Kylemore Castle in the 1860s as a private home. Then it became Kylemore Abbey in 1920 when it was founded by the Benedictine nuns that fled Belgium during World War I. The first all-female run Benedictine monastery in Ireland in 400 years. Girl power. The nuns turned it into a prestigious school, a boarding school for international students and a day school for the girls living locally. It operated as a school until 2010 when the final year of students sat their exams. The Benedictine nuns still run the abbey today. It is a functioning monastery, mainly run as a visitor attraction and museum, with a lot of the house being open to the public, but a section of it is closed off where the nuns conduct their work. You can actually see the nuns if you go there for a daily mass, and they do also hand make candles, soaps and chocolate that they sell in the shop next to the abbey. It all helps to support the nuns in their work, and it helps to keep Kylemore Abbey preserved, functioning and open. So that's what Kylemore looks like today, but I would like to go back in time and talk a little bit about some of the people that are a part of Kylemore's history. As I've already said, these stories are fascinating, and I think that these people deserve to be remembered. Kylemore Abbey has its roots in a love story that is powerful yet tragic. A story about a couple who adored each other and a promise to build a real-life fairy tale castle deep in the mountains in the west of Ireland. I love when this happens, when you go and visit a museum or an attraction of some kind, even a concert or a movie, and you've been fully immersed and then you come out afterwards a little bit changed by what you've experienced. You walk out a little bit different to how you walked in, and you take it with you. The beauty of art and storytelling. We need to go back to the beginning, to when Kylemore Castle was first built by a man named Mitchell Henry. He was Manchester born, was successful and wealthy both from his thriving career as a doctor and his family's textile business. When his father died, he inherited the fortune, and then he automatically became one of the wealthiest young men in Britain at the time. He wasted no time in doing what he wanted to do, which was quit his profession, pursue his passion for politics, and move to Ireland. Even though Mitchell Henry was an Englishman by birth, he was of Irish descent, and he considered himself an Irishman through and through. And when he married his soulmate, Margaret Henry, they honeymooned in the Connemara area a few years prior and absolutely fell in love with it. So as a gift to Margaret and a massive gesture of his love to her, promising to build her a fairy tale castle in Connemara, he bought the then Kylemore Lodge and the surrounding land, and they moved there, eventually turning it into Kylemore Castle. When the Henrys moved to the area, they brought a lot of good. Mitchell became an MP for Galway, splitting his time between Connemara and London, believing that he could help the local people who were suffering greatly from the effects of the famine at the time. He employed about 300 people, grew fruit and vegetables, and built a school for the local children. A politician who actually put his money where his mouth is and used his success and his wealth to help the less fortunate around him, especially at a time in Ireland when most people were living in poverty since it was the famine and people quite literally had nothing. They were either dying or emigrating. Those were your choices if you ever wonder why so many people left Ireland. And also in a part of the country that was the most neglected. People in power today could take some notes. I want to talk about Margaret Henry for a second because we love her, okay? She sounded amazing. You can see why Mitchell adored her. You know those questions, if you could have dinner with somebody who's no longer with us? She's now made her way onto that list for me. I wish we could all sit down and have tea and chat because she just sounded like the loveliest human being. We love Margaret here, okay? Let's just make it known. We love Margaret in these parts. She settled into life at Kylemore quite quickly, and she and Mitchell had 9 children. She had an eye for beauty and a passion for travel, and like her husband, she cared deeply about the local people, and they mutually fell in love with her. She would frequently throughout the year visit the humble homes of the people, bringing them whatever they needed, whether it was clothes or food. In August of 1874, this is where our story gets sad. As the Henrys loved to travel, they took a trip to Cairo, Egypt. And while they were there, Margaret unfortunately made the mistake of drinking the water and contracted dysentery, which made her very sick for a couple of weeks, and then unfortunately the dysentery took her life, devastating her family and the local community. Margaret was only 45 when she passed away, and I'm going to read you an excerpt from her obituary that was published in the Freeman's Journal. This will give you a very clear indication of how loved she was. A fond and affectionate wife and a tender and loving mother, her premature demise will leave a blank in the circle of which she was the idol, and the poor of whom she was a kind and constant benefactor will long continue and have cause to mourn her loss. Of a truly benevolent and charitable disposition, it was her care to alleviate the suffering and aid the distressed, which she did, not through a spirit of parade and senseless vanity, but as a duty that springs from the highest and purest impulses of the heart. In the vicinity of Kylemore Castle, the good which she did cannot be estimated. That to me is so moving. That speaks volumes about how they felt about her, the local people in Connemara, and I just love the way that was written. It's so beautiful. It's like poetry. I wish people still spoke like that. Can we bring back speaking like that? Everybody now is like no cap, slay, whatever. I don't know. I'm a millennial, so I'm just going to be cringe no matter what I try and say. But can we bring back speaking like that? It's just beautiful. Like, can we not all speak like poetry? I don't know. Now it's just like the Queen slayed. Mitchell was naturally heartbroken upon the death of his wife, whom he adored, and her remains were brought back to Kylemore. As a tribute to her, he built her a neo-Gothic style church next to their home, a mini cathedral with angels instead of gargoyles and beautiful marble pillars inside. The marble pillars are in sets of 4, each one coming from a different province in Ireland: green from Connacht, rose from Munster, black from Leinster, and grey from Ulster. The fact that he even thought to do that just goes to show how much they loved Ireland together. And I don't think I mentioned it actually, but Margaret was an Irish woman as well. Margaret was laid to rest in the mausoleum on the grounds, which you can visit if you ever go to Kylemore Abbey. Mitchell spent less and less time at Kylemore after Margaret died. Makes sense, I don't blame him. Just the memories of her all around him, I'm sure it was just too hard. He never remarried, and he lived on another 36 years without her. And in 1910, Mitchell passed away in England, but he was brought back to Kylemore and laid to rest in the mausoleum next to Margaret. And here I am, over 150 years after Margaret's death, only now just learning about her and feeling moved enough by the story to pass it on to you. So I think you can see why I wanted to tell this story. By all accounts, the Henrys were incredibly good and lovely people and genuinely wanted to help people that had less than them and wanted to leave the place better. It was a pleasure to learn about them while we were there, and I was so excited to include all this in the video, and I consider it an honour to retell everything to you. Also, while exploring the house, where there is a lot to see, I came across something interesting in the dining room. There on the plates were the names of various well-known people that had visited Kylemore Castle, and get ready for a full circle moment. I spotted on this plate the name Lady Jane Francesca Wilde, regular visitor with her husband Sir William Wilde, aka Oscar Wilde's parents. We came full circle. Me and my sister had just been in their house in Bray a week before that. I mean, it's just poetic, really. So after a long day exploring Kylemore, we headed home. We took in a lot of information that did take a while to process, and it stayed in my head for quite a few days. Honestly, just feeling really inspired by the whole experience, resulting in me making this video. And with that, it was time to leave again, and here we are. It was yet another wonderful trip with so many lovely memories made. And now, I just get to look forward to the next time. I also kind of randomly got back into Father Ted. Don't ask me why. I mean, it's classic, obviously, but it just kind of happened. I didn't plan it, and we actually ended up rewatching most of the entire series while I was at home too. Like I said, I really enjoy this format, and I'm probably going to do this going forward when I do more Ireland videos in future, because I just really like, it takes the pressure off me filming in the moment, especially if I'm, in a certain place that requires a bit of history knowledge, or not feeling that pressure in the moment of, when was this built and what year and people's names and that kind of thing. I can just kind of just film and just enjoy that, because usually I'm just there enjoying the experience anyway, and I'm just there to learn. It's kind of nice that it takes the pressure off, because then I can research stuff later, and then I can actually, when I sit down and do this part, I already have all the information, so I can make sure everything is right, and it means I can just enjoy the filming a little bit more without any extra pressure at the time. This trip really inspired me to make more videos like this. I mean, not that I haven't wanted to, it's just kind of been, just different chapters, but it's just really made me want to go back to Ireland when the weather is good, more likely in the summer when The days are much longer. Like there was so many days on this trip where like it started to get dark at like 3:30, which I mean, it's kind of nice when you're cozy, but it just means that there's less time to film stuff and the chances of the weather being bad are much higher. So it doesn't always work out in the winter months. You know, the whole time I was there, I was thinking, oh, I just have this long list of places that I want to go and that I've never been to. And I'd love to go and film and like do more things like this. So I don't know, I'm not planning anything just yet because I just got back and I'm kind of getting into a routine here and I have some goals I want to achieve this year, especially with music and releasing music and stuff, and I'm kind of deep in the throes of that right now. But you know, you never know what will happen. Basically just being back home again this time just really inspired me to like want to film and make more videos like this. Even though they're a lot of work and they take me a lot of time, I just love them so much, and there's so many places I want to go. And if I go in the summertime, it stays bright till like 10 p.m, which is insane. So imagine all the things I could go and film. I just had so many filming days cut short because it was pitch black at 4:30. So that was a little frustrating at times because I'm like, oh, I just want to go film stuff, but I can't because it's dark. So yeah, like I said, no plans. I don't know what the rest of the year brings, but thank you for watching this video all the way through. Because it's so long, the ad revenue will help me pay for the next flight. Yay. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you engaging with the video, even if you just sit and enjoyed it or watched it in stages. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspires you to travel to Ireland one day, or if you're not able to travel, I hope you get to live vicariously through me a little bit. Both of those things make me happy. So thank you so much. Do drop a like, drop me a comment, subscribe if you haven't, give this video some hype points, help me grow a little bit in the algorithm. That would be amazing. And I won't make this video any longer than it needs to be, but there are some links in the description if you'd like to support me. No pressure, you don't have to. There's merch store, Patreon, YouTube membership. Check out my gaming channel, linked below as well. And also I just have so much music content coming, so just keep an eye out for that. I'm always working on something. There's always more coming, so I hope you're excited. If you did subscribe, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you here in our music Irish loving community. And also stay tuned for music news coming very soon. I know I've been talking about this for a while, but very soon I'm doing something that I've never done before, so stay tuned. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you again soon in the next one. Bye!